Good morning. Thank you to my co-host, Kelvin, who was actually able to pop the clutch and make the recording start. And on that note, the reason we're here today is because it's Tuesday and we want to talk about some SEO tips. We did some research last evening, and I hope that you enjoy the ones we had to share with you today. As always, the show notes will be available to you on the cookreport.podbean.com is the quickest way, the easiest way to find the link. If you just search for the hashtag the Cook Report, you'll get all the other shows, and it's kind of a clutter. So after the show's over, maybe half an hour from now, the links for the show notes should be in order. And the show notes today that we're talking about have to do with SEO tips. And the first one we looked at is from this fellow Morgan Mandriata, I think is how you say his name. Is from Fishbat Media, and his phone number and his email will be in the show notes. And it's real quick and clean, basic SEO tips, 4 of them. Number 1, publish valuable, relevant content. You've heard the Cook Reports said time and again, user experience makes it happen, makes it come back. Include quality links in your content. Utilize keywords in your content, and ensure that efficient user navigation and experience happens. So I would encourage you, if you're setting up this site brand new for the first time, find 10 friends and relatives and throw it in the pond, see if it floats. That is to say, give them a set of instructions. Can you find the newsletter sign up? Can you find whatever the task is that hand, whatever the call to action wants to have happen? Give that mission to those usability testers, as I call them, and that'll work for you. So a big thank you to Morgan for those tips. Moving along, I'm not going to read all of this. There's 10 SEO tips how to improve your Google ranking. Okay, maybe you just have got the Bing rank nailed down, but your Google is suffering for whatever reason. There's some tips here, 10 of them. 6, 9, and 10 are the tips that I put in the show notes, but I also have the link so you can see all of them. Number 6, real simple. Don't use Flash. Okay? You know the technology that's known as Flash? Don't use it. Okay? And the reasons that you don't want to use it are spelled out. Basically, Google's always going to rank Flash sites lower with Flash than without. So now in the chat, Corinne says, I use Adobe Flash. Quit using it. Go to HTML5. Grow natural links. A key ranking factor in Google's algorithm is the number of organic and quality inbound links to your site. So do the best job you can with those links. Monitor your progress is number 10. And that's the way you fix things. If you're not able to audit your performance, how are you going to know if the A/B test of the page was successful or not? Because you don't have any numbers to compare it to. So it's not going to be a measurable, fixable thing. You have to first find out, this is the good link, this is the bad link, and then make corrections based on that information. The last set of tips came from Oregon Web Solutions. These are simple website SEO tips for beginners, and I list them all completely in the show notes. Thank God for copy and paste day. And the first thing they said, and what really caught my eye and what made this really happen as far as being content that I thought was worth sharing, is the most important thing that your business is going to do, the most crucial part of the entire process, is picking the name. That's it. Now, if you want an exact match domain that you want to target only for a specific city or geographical region and so forth, then use the EMD. If you don't, you're going to then compete against everybody that's doing the same thing. So if you're a carpet cleaner, you don't want to go and give yourself the name of best carpet cleaners, because everyone else in the world is the best carpet cleaner too. But if you're the best carpet cleaner in Chicago, so you got Chicago carpet cleaning perhaps, research that and set that up right and get the right name for your company. Then pick a domain name, then strategize your keyword planning, your URL structure and planning, and the social media strategy that you're going to have, the keyword density, on-page strategy for your keywords. Remember, you want to have like between 5 and 7%, I think I read. Not very much, but you want to have them on the page. And then at the same time, the last step in this list is plan your off-page strategy in your anchor text. Don't use click here. Don't use a generic thing. Click on my site link to get there, because that's not going to do you any justice in SEO. Okay. Thank you again for Oregon Web Solutions. And that brings us to the shout out portion of the show. Thank God for that. A certain co-host, I won't mention any names, but the guy next to me said, 5 pages? Really? So yeah, print out the show notes, brace yourself. It's 5 pages, biggie. And thank God I didn't read them all, eh? What? So the shout out time. As always, thank you to Edinburgh Dusters, the company that likes to clean. They're the ones that you call if you've got a flat in Edinburgh, Scotland, and the people have moved out, you want to rent it again, have Kelvin's friend Fraser at Edinburgh Dusters do the cleaning for you. He does it quite right.
He does. Does a great job.
Thank you to Passing Places Insider Club, which is passingplaces.scot. And that is Kevin Scullion, also in Scotland. Also has a number of things that he does. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm trying to remember. Big thank you to Blab. Blab.im makes this happen. They make the recording go. And thank you to Kelvin again for clicking the record button. I had a hitch in the get along this morning. It wouldn't work for me. And if you're on YouTube, I want to thank you for listening and subscribe to the channel, please, on YouTube. There's a link right down there at the bottom. And then new today, a little shameless plug for the Cook Report. We would like to have patrons that sponsor the show, and there's a note to our Podbean patron link, and that's enough about that. I don't want to sound too greedy. But we got bills. You know, listening to us on Stitcher Radio, on the Blab profile, on the cookreport.podbean.com. There's a copy of this show on iTunes because it's on the Podbean format. It's going to also appear on iTunes. It's on Spreaker. It's on the blog, Geyer Cook Online Services.com, WAC blog. And that's also going to have the Cook Report evaluation question. Be sure that you look for that. Fill out the question. It's just a single yes/no answer. And on that, I think, is there anything I forgot?
Did you mention that guy from Stirling?
Oh, yeah. Kevin Scullion was talking about SEO tips today. And he said he's done a lot of research and indexing and so forth, and increasing his rank in Google and Bing and so forth, and making passingplaces.scot perform better. So if you've got SEO questions, you might give him the question and get an answer. Okay? Operators are standing by. So on that note, I think it's time to say the 3 magic words, and maybe that'll make the recording stop. Because magic has that effect. It's a wrap.